So what's going on, everybody? Odd Man 105, aka the Odd One here, and welcome back to No Man's Sky. Now, I thought that I would revisit nanite farming in today's video, specifically for the new player who may have found like a cool C-class starship or multi-tool, but may not have the 85,000 nanites required to upgrade it to an S-class. So that's what today's video is for, to show new players some legit methods of farming a ton of nanites really quickly. Now, I want to stress legit nanite farming, which means no duping. Now, before we begin, understand that there are several different methods of obtaining legit nanites in No Man's Sky. From harvesting curiosities, which is one of the methods that we're going to employ today, to farming sentinel upgrades, which does require combat and may not be viable for new players. And those methods of obtaining nanites will differ from player to player, and I would like to know how you guys get your nanites legit. So sound off down in the comments and let's discuss it. So with all that stuff out of the way, let's begin. Okay, so first, let's discuss your multi-tool. Now, because we're mining resources, you can literally use any type of multi-tool out there, whether it's a C-class or an S-class, a Sentinel multi-tool rifle like what I have here, or even one of the new staff multi-tools, or an Atlantidium multi-tool, which have the highest mining efficiency of any multi-tools in the game. Just ensure that whichever multi-tool you use has one vacant supercharged slot. This is very important, and I'll discuss that here in just a second. But for the purposes of this video, I'll be using my S-Class Sentinel multi-tool rifle. Next, for upgrades, you'll need the following two blueprints. That's the Advanced Mining Laser and the Optical Drill. The Advanced Mining Laser will allow us to harvest advanced resources such as curiosities for Runaway Mould, which is one of the resources that we're hunting for today. And the Optical Drill will give us an additional 50% of resources mined, and this is very important. And the Optical Drill will increase the yield of resources mined by an additional 50%. Now, this is why you need at least one vacant supercharged slot. So if we take the Optical Drill and supercharge it, it now gives us an additional 88% of resources mined. That's almost double the resources simply by supercharging the Optical Drill. So this is why you need to ensure that your multi-tool has at least one vacant supercharged slot. And this is also important when harvesting curiosities or other resources for nanites. Now, these other S-Class and X-Class upgrade modules for the mining beam are not necessary. Of course, if you have them, then use them, but again, they're not needed. However, the Advanced Mining Laser and the Optical Drill blueprints are essential. You must have those. Now, to get your mining beam blueprints, simply come here to the Space Anomaly and speak to Eos, or as I like to call him, Jaws with the Bling Bling. Let's get through his dialogue here and research multi-tool upgrades. So, as you can see here on the right-hand side, you want the Advanced Mining Laser and the Optical Drill. Now, once you install these into your multi-tool, you're ready to go. Okay, so now we're ready to hunt for curious deposits. Now, all planets have them, although some planets have more than others. Now, if you're having difficulty locating your own curious deposits resources, then don't worry, because the Odd Man's got you covered. On your screen right now are the glyphs to this planet, where there are several bases located near curious deposits resources. Okay, so these are curious deposits, and they're identified on your heads-up display or your scanner by the orange or yellow diamonds with 3 stars. And when you harvest curious deposits, you get a crap ton of Runaway Mould, which converts directly into nanites. And the cool thing about these curious deposits is that they respawn almost instantly, but there are a couple of things that you'll need to do. You can either leave the area by either teleporting away or flying away in your ship and returning and they'll respawn, or you can simply jump in and out of your starship and reload your manual restore point. Okay, and we're back. And as you can see, the curious deposits have respawned. Now, you can literally sit here all day and harvest curious deposits for Runaway Mould. And I highly recommend that, because it takes a great deal of time to convert Runaway Mould into nanites, that you get a few stacks of these while you're here until you have more than sufficient supply of Runaway Mould to convert into nanites. So what we're going to do is rinse and repeat this process until I have a few stacks of Runaway Mould, and then we'll head to my other base and refine them. So we'll be right back. Okay, so after about 5 minutes of harvesting curious deposits for nanites, check this out. 6 stacks of Runaway Mould. So let's refine all of this and determine its value in nanites. Okay, so I'm here at one of my curious deposit bases, and I've got 3 total medium refiners, which is the max you can have at any one base. So let's fill this thing up with the Runaway Mould. Let's go 3 stacks at each base. And as you can see, that's 20 minutes per stack. So this is going to take a while. Oh, we got some left over. Nice. And let's rinse and repeat. And what we'll do is head to the other base and do the same thing. Alright, so the refining is finished. Let's get our nanites. Now remember, this was a 5-to-1 ratio. That's 5 Runaway Mould to every 1 nanite. So for our 5 minutes worth of harvesting, we have 2,000, 4,000, 6,000. Okay, so after only 5 minutes of harvesting curious deposits for Runaway Mould, we gained over 12,000 nanites. That's ridiculous. And remember that with curious deposits, you can rinse and repeat this process as many times as you want, as quickly as you want. So, what I would like to do now is explore another new player-friendly method for gaining a ton of nanites really quickly. Okay, so the next super easy, new player-friendly method that I use to farm nanites is simply by harvesting both radiant shards and living fragments on dissonant planets. Now, the living fragments give Atlantidium, which convert into Pugneum. And let me just show you because that'll make it easier. So, Atlantidium, if we can find it, there we go, converts to Pugneum, okay? Now, when you combine Atlantidium and Pugneum, you get, if we can find the Pugneum, there we go, you get Runaway Mould. And of course, as we know, Runaway Mould converts directly into nanites. Now, it takes a little bit of processing, but this is one of the methods that I use, both of which are super easy to obtain. Now, let's clear the inventory. If we take Radiant Shards, right here, these convert directly into nanites, and this is a 1-to-50 ratio, so do the math on that. You get 50 nanites per radiant shard, so a stack of 10 gets you 500 nanites, okay? So what we're going to do is take some time, get a couple of stacks of radiant shards and a couple of stacks of Atlantidium, and we'll head back to the refiner base and we'll see what we get. Okay, so after 30 minutes of harvesting Atlantidium, Pugneum, and Radiant Shards, this is what we've got. So we have a full stack of Pugneum, a full stack of Atlantidium, and we've got 2 stacks of the Radiant Shards. Now, we already know that a stack of 10 Radiant Shards will give 500 nanites. So we're not concerned with this right now. We're concerned with exactly how many nanites we can gain by combining a stack of Pugneum and Atlantidium in a medium refiner. So let's do that. Okay, so let's combine both our Pugneum and Atlantidium. Start with the Pugneum. Here we go. Take a full stack. And the Atlantidium, there we go, hard to pronounce. Okay, so as you can see, in 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes, we'll get 4,000 Runaway Mould. So let's start that process, and we'll be back. And just for fun, let's refine a stack of Radiant Shards for an additional 500 nanites. Alright, so now that all of our Pugneum and Atlantidium have been refined all the way down into nanites, this is our total. So check this out. For a full stack of both Pugneum and Atlantidium, we get 4,095 nanites in this medium refiner, and an additional 1,904 nanites in this refiner. So that's a grand total of 5,999 nanites for about 30 minutes of farming and resource gathering, and a further 20 or 30 minutes for refining. It did take a while to refine, but again, if you're a new player with at least 2 medium refiners, then this is a great way to get a lot of nanites really quickly. And with that being said, this video is a wrap. And guys, sound off down in the comments below. I'd like to know how everyone else out there farms for quick nanites in No Man's Sky. So sound off in the comments and let's discuss it. But with that being said, this video is a wrap. I've been Oddman105, aka The Odd One. And if you guys found this video informative, then you know what to do. Smash that subscriber button, hit that bell icon, leave a few likes while you're here, and hey, don't forget to check me out on Twitter at Oddman105. And I will see you guys when I see you guys in the next video. Please stay safe and remember, don't just start the fire, bring the smoke, and take care out there.